Hello, Mr. Macdonald. How are you doing?
Hi, Alan. How are you?
I'm very fine, Mr. Macdonald. Mr. Macdonald, apparently you made a report to the police claiming I was going to stab you, and what else?
Pardon?
According to your department that I just spoke to just a minute ago, you claimed you called the police and claimed that you made a report about me, right?
No. The police called me first off because you'd been into the station.
I had?
Yeah. So they called me, and then that's when I filed the report then.
Okay, Rob. Well, I'll let you know right now that, I've spoke to the police, there's no reports filed.
Right, well, there is, mate, because I got a caller number of the woman I spoke to,
okay.
and they're phoning me back.
Do you have a reference? Do you have a reference number for that, Mr. Macdonald?
No, I got a caller number, though.
Mr. Macdonald, if you don't have a reference number for that, then that's a lie. So, but anyway, you're supposed to identify yourself to me. You've not done that. You've not given me any paperwork towards the car or anything. You've clamped and left, especially since you've clamped a car that's on finance. You've wished to come to no agreement, no deal. So, basically, you've done things very unlawfully, haven't you, Mr. Macdonald? And you lied. You're lying as well to the police. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mr. Macdonald, I got a reference number right here you can use to find out that no crime has been committed. So you trying to pretend that you're a victim and trying to pretend that you cannot see me because of the fact that I'm going to do this, that and the other to you is a really useless excuse, Mr. Macdonald. By the way, I'm recording you.
Yeah, that's fine. So I hope you are recording me because I have spoken to the police and I've had a conversation with them, and they are calling me back this weekend to do a statement over the phone.
Brilliant. Do you have a reference number for that, Mr. Macdonald?
No, she didn't give me a reference.
So you do know that that's a lie?
It's not a lie, is it? I'm telling you that.
Well, because I've just spoke to the police just now, and the police have just indicated that if you do not have a reference number, then there's no report.
Well,
the only way you can make a report. Do you want me to give you my... Mr. Macdonald,
they'll probably give me the reference number over the weekend, they would have thought.
No. Let me give you my reference number if you want to call up the police and speak to them about my phone call conversation. I have a reference number. I haven't even made a complaint. No, let me explain it to you, because you think you know everything. I've just explained to you a minute ago. I have a reference number, Mr. Macdonald.
You're ringing me to make a payment?
No. What I'm ringing you to do is for you to come and identify yourself, show me your badge, show me who you are, give me my documentation, and then you can leave. Very simple. So you do that.
And then I come what, sorry?
After you give me your badge, identify who you are, show me your documentation, prove to me why I've been fined, etc., etc., give me my documentation, you can then leave. If you want.
I can then leave.
If you feel. But either way, you need to do that. That's the law. And if you're not doing that, you're breaking the law, Mr. Macdonald. That's what I'm saying to you.
No one is threats being made, Alan.
Excuse me?
No one is threats being made, I'm not.
Mr. Macdonald, I'm telling you, you want to... Okay, how about this, Mr. Macdonald? Let me give you... No, wait. Let me give you... Mate, let me give you an ultimatum. No, because you have to see me, legally. Let me give you an ultimatum. Why don't you call the police? No, Macdonald, why don't you call the police? Get them to come. Then we can see each other if you're scared. That's what I'm saying to you. There's no big issue there. But you have to identify yourself to me. You're an agent, right? If the police pulled me over, what do they have to do? Identify me in your place of business and who you are. And what your business is.
The officer I spoke to over at Dorset Police Station, her calling number was 8562.
I'm not interested in the calling number, my friend. I'm interested in a reference. You don't have a reference. Do you want me to give you my reference? 0403.
Alan, I'm going to end the conversation. I might be going around in circles.
Macdonald, my reference is 0403. But so okay, before you end the conversation, your last statement is you do not want to identify yourself to me. Is that what you're stating?
I'm quite happy to identify myself to you. I'll send it.
So come and identify yourself to me then.
I'll send it through an email.
No, I don't want an email. I want you to come here personally. You need to come and identify yourself personally. I don't know who you are. Don't know nothing about you. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. What threat am I making to you, Mr. Macdonald? How am I threatening you? I'm asking you to identify yourself. How am I threatening you? And remember, you're being recorded, right?
You've made threats to stop me, Alan.
Oh, come and see me. Come and see me. Okay, I told you, call the police. Call the police, let them come and stand with us, and if I'm going to stab you. If that's what you think, Mr. Macdonald. Because, at the moment, you're just coming across as a bully. And somebody trying to bully somebody and trying to break the law. And that's what you're doing. You're breaking the law. And I'm telling you now that I've already got my finance company dealing with this, and I will take this further.
What are the police doing about it, Alan, if I'm breaking the law?
Excuse me?
What are the police doing about it if I'm breaking the law?
What do you mean what are the police doing about it? What have the police got to do with it is the question.
Well, you've rung them and told them I'm breaking the law, so why haven't they...
No. You rang them and tried to you pretended to me.
You rang them, you said you've got a reference number.
Mate, I've got a reference number right here that states that I have not committed any crime. You want to call the police? Speak to them. I've got a reference number. They'll tell you there's no crime committed. You don't have.
So if I rang the police, I said, can you tell me if I've committed a crime? They give me a reference number for that, will they?
Yes, of course I will.
No, they won't.
Yes,
Don't talk rubbish.
I've got a reference. Here's my reference number. Here's my reference number. 04 04 04 03 04 03.
And complained about it, and you said I'm illegally.
Mr. Macdonald, what is Mr. Macdonald? Am I not the owner of the car and the person you need to speak to, sir? That's what I'm trying to find out. And you're just going on as if you have no rights. You shouldn't speak to me. And no, of course I have to. You have to identify yourself, and you're not doing that. That is against the law.
You know exactly who I am.
I don't know who you are. You could be anybody. You could be a thug. You could be a robber. You could be anybody. That's what I'm saying to you.
My office as well. My office has confirmed who I am.
Don't care. Come and identify yourself personally. Show me your badge. Give me the paperwork. Then we can go from there. That's what I'm saying to you. So if you're willing to do that, I'm here. You know, I've got no problems. Anytime, come and see me.
I'll send it through to you. It's not a problem.
I don't want nothing sent through to me, Mr. Macdonald. I want it in person. You need to give it to me in person, in paperwork. I don't have paperwork.
You're not going to be out in person. I'm not going to waste my time and the police's time.
I want the... What do you mean waste the police's time? There's nothing to do with the police, dude. This is what I'm trying to say to you. It's between me and you. It's civil. Just come and see me. What's you so... Like, I don't get it.
It's not civil when you're making threats to stab people.
Am I making a threat to stab you, Mr. Macdonald?
You made a threat the other day, Alan.
Mr. Macdonald, I made no threats to you, my friend, right, yeah? You just acting angry, aggressive, you're like a small man with a small badge who thinks he's something. You ain't nobody. You're a toy cop anyway. I don't know, because you failed your police exam or whatever it is, and now you're upset at me. That's not my fault. Listen, come and see me, speak to me, and that's it. You're not a police officer. You're not an officer. Yeah, you're an agent that works for the law. You know what you do? You might as well shovel shit. That's how shit your job is. But just come along and speak to me. And then we can sort this out. But you don't want to do that. Because you're a little man. Small man syndrome. You're a small man syndrome. I'm not threatening you. I want you to identify yourself to me. And that's what I'm asking you. And I've recorded this.
How would I have small man syndrome? You don't even know what I look like.
I don't care what you look like. You're a small man. You ain't nobody. Who are you? What are you? What are you? You ain't nobody. You ain't nothing. You're your guy's little suit on, right? Works for an enforcer. You're not a police officer. You ain't nobody. So don't pretend as if you're some, I'm this. You ain't nobody. I'm asking you, as a civil to civil, it's not a police matter. I'm trying to explain. It's a civil matter.
It is now, Alan, because you...
It is not a police matter, Mr. Macdonald. It's a civil matter. I've spoke to the police already, my friend. I've already spoke to them.
So have I.
Yeah, it's a civil matter. So just look. Let's start again, right? Can you not come down, identify yourself, give me my paperwork, and then from there onwards, I can proceed with what I need to do next. That's what I'm asking you. If you cannot do that, then that's against the law. That's what I'm saying to you.
No. I can't do that at the moment, mate. No,
so you're saying you will not identify yourself to me?
I'm saying to you that I will send you through any documentation.
I don't want nothing sent through to me, my friend. I want you to come and give it to me personally. You have my vehicle clamped over there, right? You come give it to me personally.
Threats to knock my teeth down my throat and stab and gut.
So have I made a threat to knock your teeth down your throat?
Yes.
Prove it. Prove it.
All right, okay.
So... That's what I'm saying. So you don't have any proof or evidence. So what are you talking about? Have I threatened you? This is recorded, my friend. This is recorded. Tell me where I threatened you. I'm asking you something very simple, very civil. Come to me, right? Show me your identification. Just like if a police officer pulled you over, do they not have to identify themselves? Is that not the law? Yeah. That's why I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. You need to do the same thing. You could be anybody, that just took that, clapped that car. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. And that's what I was trying to explain to you the other day, is what you didn't really understand. You're thinking I'm threatening. I'm saying you're not getting. I'm being sarcastic when I'm saying you don't get it. You could be anybody, just clamping the car. So, first of all, identify yourself. But you're just going on some angry small man syndrome. It's like, all of a sudden you want to get upset. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you to identify yourself legally. That's all. But I don't get what the argument is, Mr. Macdonald. I don't understand why we even argued. Just come and see me. It's no big issue. And if you're scared, okay, call the police. I'm okay with that. You can bring the police with you, but just give me the legal documents. That's what I'm asking you for. Is that okay?
No, I'll send them through to you.
I don't want them sent through. The legal way is to give it to me handed, in person.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. And you need to show me your badge and identification, all of that. That's what you need to do.
Well, I can send you that. That's not a problem.
I don't need it sent to me. I need you to come give it to me physically. There's a difference.
What difference does it make?
Major difference, because I need to see you. I need to identify your face. I need to see who you are, first of all, to make sure that you are who you are. You could be anybody, Mr. Macdonald. You could be just about anybody. That's what I'm saying. You could be just about anybody. That's what I'm explaining to you. And you're not following the law right now, because it states that you're supposed to identify yourself. Are you telling me that you've been taught not to identify yourself?
I've identified myself, exactly.
You haven't identified yourself, Mr. Macdonald. You haven't. You've just clamped and ran. That's what you've done. You've clamped a vehicle and you ran away like a little girl or something. I don't know what you're scared of.
Actually rang you.
No, you didn't do nothing, mate. You ran out of there. You were moody as hell. Maybe the missus didn't give you a leg over. I don't know what you're pissed off about. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't get anything at home, but you upset at me for nothing. I'm asking you something very simple. You upset about it. You got a small man syndrome. You got a shit job. You're not a police officer. You failed every exam in your life. That's why you're working for the shittest, lowest paid job in the world. Shitty old bailiff. Oh, how good are you? How nice is that, Mr. Macdonald? As far as I'm concerned, Mr. Macdonald, this conversation is over right now.
Thanks very much, I do appreciate your patience. Yeah. Okay, so I've just had a look over the account. I've tried speaking to the agent, couldn't get through to him. Okay. So I've had to have a look over his notes and just see what he noted to the account.
Yeah.
Now, from what he's noted on there, he has noted sort of similar to what you advised there, where the police advised him not to contact yourself, and it seems that they're going to be contacting him over the weekend to take some sort of statement from him. So I'm not sure if maybe they're not able to divulge that to you until they've taken a statement from him, or why they've not advised that he has reported the incident. But as far as I'm aware, it seems to have been reported. Now, as it stands, I'm not really in a position to give you any sort of resolution at the moment, because Mr. Macdonald remains an authority, and he is looking to collect the full payment or go through removals of goods or vehicles. By all means, you're welcome to make the payment through the office, and we can take that over the phone, not a problem. But outside of that, there's not anything I could do. I'm happy to further and continue the complaint with yourself and send it off to the complaints team if you've not raised anything in the initial complaint you sent in. But outside of that, there's not a lot I can do. I'm sorry.
Okay, sure. Well, that's all fine and everything. By the way, this is I record everything, so I'm just letting you know you're also being recorded. But
yeah, I assumed that from what you mentioned at the start. I do
I have to cover my back. I have to cover my back.
I need you to be aware we haven't got consent for you to share it with third parties or anything like that, but keep this for your own records and making sure everything's done properly.
It's just for me. It's just for me, because I wanted to also prove that I'm not being violent and aggressive, and you can see what I'm trying to say here. Listen to every conversation I've had. I'm not trying to be violent and aggressive. I'm actually just trying to solve, but he's pretending that I'm being violent and aggressive. But why I'm saying this to you, just so you understand where I'm coming from, right? First and foremost, if he made a report to the police, you have to get a reference, because the police will give you a reference. All he has is a badge number, which means I know the woman he spoke to, because I spoke to her and she called him. She's the one I spoke to, and she's the one he spoke to. So my point is, do you have a reference for that?
He hasn't noted anything in the account, no.
Okay, so then if he's got no reference for it, then there's no report. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So that already nullifies that.
I understand that.
So what I'm saying is that understand that Mr. Macdonald is not conducting himself correctly. Mr. Macdonald is lying, and Mr. Macdonald is using false allegations against me. There's no evidence to prove what he's saying. I can tell you that.
The
I've got
allegations that he's made about yourself threatening to stamp him, or some sort of assault allegation, I believe. Was that done, on his visit? Did he say that was done when you spoke to him in person, or was it done over the phone? What happened there?
No, we were just on. What I'm saying, the reason we just got into an argument. I don't know what he's on about. He was swearing at me and stuff. We had a go at each other on the phone. That was about it. And he's come to some conclusion.
On the phone, right?
Yeah, because what it is he wouldn't wait for me. So what it is, imagine he's clamped the car, and literally 1 second later, I've called him up. I live about literally 2 minutes from the car. So when he did that, he clamped it and tried to drive off straight away. So before he drove off, I said, hang on, wait, let me come and see you. And he just responded, nah, I don't need to, I'm not going to see you unless you're going to pay, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, just wait anyway, let me get my documents. He said, no, I don't have the time to do that. I've got another job, and he drove off. So we just got into an argument over the phone, and that's how he started to be sulky, ignoring me, and etc. So it's not that. And
was that call recorded, sir?
That particular call, no, that wasn't, because at the time I didn't have a reason to record the call at all. I just basically just spoke to him. But basically it's just the fact that we got into a disagreement and a dispute. But that beyond that point, basically, I even spoke to him later on that day, and I spoke to him again, saying, look, Mr. Macdonald, we had an argument earlier on. Let's try to resolve this again. I'm just trying to speak to you amicably. Let's try to solve this. He again, he didn't respond too badly at that point. He says, all right, because I told him to look into the finance. He says he'll look into the finance. But prior to that, he's been accusing me of being violent and aggressive and this and the other and whatever else, which I'm simply not being. But my main statement and my main point I'm trying to let you know, to understand that you're under recording all that, is that it's by law, you must get a reference. If the police, I've got references here from talking to the police, right? So if you speak to the police, they will give you a reference. That reference number is what you'll be able to, because I can give you, do you want my reference number here? I've got a reference number. You can call them if you like. 0443.
No, it's fine, I believe.
043. My reference number is 043. If you feel challenged, if you want to challenge that, call them up and they'll tell you nothing, no crime has been committed, no report has been made, no statement has been made. So I'm trying to explain to you that whatever Mr. Macdonald is saying to you, understand he's lying. He's not done that. What he may have done, what he did do was speak to the police, because I spoke to the police. And they called him and spoke to him. That's all he did, is he just spoke with them because they contacted him to ask him what was going on, because he had clamped the car and ran away. And I was asking the police, saying, well, this guy's buggered off. Well, and he's not giving me any documents, and he's claiming I'm threatening him, or we're having arguments over the phone. So I went to the police and spoke, because he told me he was going to call the police. He never called the police. I went to the police. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? He claimed he was going to call the police. I'm going to call the police, and I'm going to do. I said, right, well. So I thought he's gone off and called the police. So I went to the police and said, well, here I am. What's the problem? Only to find out the police says, no one's called us. So I said, well, that's how they said, well, who is this guy? And I explained to them, and then they made a phone call to him. You see, so that's what I'm trying to say. It's not that he's made a complaint. The police ain't going to call him over the weekend. What he's telling you is an outright lie. That's recorded here on right now again. He's lying to you. You can't make a report without having a reference number. You should know that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying, basically, is that, unfortunately, like I said, you have to take my complaint, because Mr. Macdonald is not conducting himself correctly. And you know that I'm telling you the truth. So why can't we continue with the complaint? Because he needs to be spoken to about this, and he needs to conduct his job right. What you need to be telling him is go and see that client, give him the documentation, and identify yourself to him. If you're scared, you can use the police to come with you. That's what you should be saying. That's all I want.
So this is what I said, you can continue the claim, I'm not stopping that at all, but you'll obviously need to allow the complaint team to investigate what you've raised now. So did you raise all of this when you sent in the complaint?
Yeah, sure, I have done, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's fine then. I think the best thing to do then is to leave the complaint team to investigate what you've highlighted and for them to look into it.
No problem.
Obviously the investigation needs to be done thoroughly by them reviewing his footage and everything else, so it's not within my remit in this office to do it at the moment.
Alright, no problem.
But as the investigation is being done, whilst they're looking into it, the agent will still remain assigned to the case until instructed otherwise.
That's fine, yeah, but I will say that I'm not threatening Mr. Macdonald. I don't have any arguments to fight with him or argue with him. I just wanted my documentation. That's it. That's what I basically just wanted. So as long as you've got that on record, right now, that's all I want. It's just my documentation. And obviously prior to that, obviously this has been deprivation, what you call deprivation. I've been deprived of using that vehicle, so I've been unable to go to work. So on top of that, I'll have to go from my finance company, and we're going to have to apply for deprivation, which is compensation for keeping me out of work for so long as well. Because what I'm saying is you're going to inevitably find out the car cannot be lifted and taken away. It's a finance vehicle, it belongs to the finance company. So I don't own that car. It's like, you might as well come and take my mobile phone and tell me you can take that. That's on contract too. You can't take that. So you've immobilized the vehicle illegally, essentially. Ultimately, right now you may feel you may be using powers to try claim it's legal, but at the very end you're going to find it's not legal. And the person who's been deprived has been me. You've stopped me from going to work. You've disallowed me from earning any money. So in the meantime, I could have been making money back to try and pay for this particular fine or pay anything else, and you've stopped that. So I'm just highlighting that to you, so you also understand that I'm dealing with that through my finance company, who will naturally apply for that, because it's either one or two, either of my because my finance company has been paid as we speak. I pay them the finance. So if them lot, I could claim deprivation from them because I'm paying them and I'm not having the use of the vehicle, you see. Or it's going to be through the courts because you've deprived me. They're not going to accept that. They're going to come to you. I'm just letting you know. So what I'm saying is, let Mr. Macdonald do what he wants to do right now, but it's up to him. I'm going to sit back now because my finance company have told me anyway, do you know what, let us deal with this. And I'm just trying to clear my name with you, because it's very upsetting to speak to somebody on the phone who's sending me crazy allegations like Mrs. Emily Smith and Janet, who are just very, very horrible, rude individuals for no reason. Along with Mr. Macdonald. I mean, come on guys, this is not good. We shouldn't run the business like that, should we? Because I'm not a criminal, man. You know what I mean? I'm just a normal person. It's just a fine. It's a civil matter, not a criminal offence, So, otherwise, you say there's nothing more you can do, so I understand that, Nathan. Thanks a lot for being very professional as well, actually. You actually been very professional, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, it's been thank you for that. Yeah, sure, no, as long as that's all solved and my name is clear there, I guess I'll just have to wait for which I've been told anyway, the finance company says just wait, they're already going to deal with this problem anyway, so, because ultimately in the end, like I said, they will get that vehicle unclamped anyway, because, but that's what I was trying to explain to Mr. Macdonald. Wouldn't it be easier to come to an agreement with me, because at least I'll pay you, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but what can I say? Okay, thanks a lot, Nathan, for your help.
That's fine. That's no problem. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Oh, thanks a lot. Cheers. Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.
Yeah.